outside bars or in the middle of the street. The worst part of being an undercover in the NYPD is 1 day a week you have inside buys. And basically what that means is, people, they'll call 911 and they'll say, the guy next door to me is selling drugs. The guy next door to me is selling this, is doing that. Well, those complaints get transferred to the narcotics division. And once they get so many complaints on a certain location, it goes into a file that goes to the undercover units. And then all of a sudden, our lieutenant comes in and says, okay, we're going to 160th Street, and this building, this apartment, you're gonna go in, and the guy's doing, he's doing crack. All right. I fucking hated inside buys. And I hated inside buys for a couple of reasons. A bunch of my friends got shot inside. Bad stuff, because when you get in those buildings, your transponders don't work because of all the concrete. Nobody can find you. So I used to, a Sharpie, right? You know what Sharpies are? I used to take a fucking red Sharpie and I'd have it in my pocket, the big thick ones. I had that red Sharpie in my pocket. So when I had to do an inside buy, I'd go in the building and I'd take that fucking Sharpie and I'd run it along the wall. I just right on the wall, right along the wall. And when I got to where I was going, right outside the door I was going, I put big letters, BK, like a graffiti artist, right?
Yeah.
Well, I graffitied the fucking location I was going to, because I was always worried if I get inside and something goes bad, at least when they come looking for me, they're gonna be able to find where I'm at. If they take my transmitter, if the transmitter doesn't work, if I get into a gunfight inside and I'm down, there's nobody to call. You're not calling for help.
Had you developed a cover story by this point?
Oh yeah, I was from Jersey. I had Jersey plates on my car. When I rolled up on a set, I had Jersey plates. In Washington Heights, this was the heart of crack and cocaine for all of Manhattan, right? It was a heavy Dominican population. Just insane drugs at the time. We had a bunch of cops that were killed there. I came into that unit in 1989, early 89, on October 18th of 1988. We had 2 cops in separate incidents killed on the same night up in the Heights. Michael Busick was shot and killed around 9 o'clock at night, shot in the chest. And then Chris Hoban was shot in an undercover buy, just like I was doing. Went into an apartment with another kid. They're in the middle of doing a buy, and a fucking dude walks in behind them and says, yo, you know these guys? And they're like, no, we saw them outside. They're looking to buy. And they're like, well, there's a fucking shitload of cops about 4 blocks from here. Check them. And they started to search him. And I think Mike Jermaine had a gun down in the belly band in his lower abdomen. They found it, they touched it, then they got in a gunfight in the fucking apartment and Chris got killed.
Yeah.
So it was that kind of stuff, that's the kind of stuff you're worried about. So I was an undercover for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years. Got my shield, my detective shield, got transferred to major case, started doing some major drug investigations. And we had a big major case, a drug thing. Guy was doing heroin and cocaine, a Dominican, took him down during the course of one of the takedowns of one of his salesmen. Got in a gun battle, he shot my partner, I shot him. And then right after that, I got transferred to DEA, to the DEA task force.
How long did that gunfight last?
It was sort of a run and gun battle. So we watched this guy. We were doing a surveillance. We were up on a wiretap on a phone, and the guy called. He was from Massachusetts. He said, "I'm coming down to pick up 5 kilos." So we see him go into an apartment, comes out of the apartment, follow the car. He's in a livery cab, which we thought for us was good, right? I mean, livery cab drivers, they don't want nothing to do with nothing. They just, you know. So, but evidently he knew this guy. We figured that out later because when we tried to stop him, he took off. And we stopped the car, had a uniformed car stop him. And as they tried to take the passenger out of the car, the fucking car takes off. So we get in a chase through Upper Manhattan, finally get him pulled over in front of these apartments on Dyckman Street. And he comes out and fires 3 rounds into the car immediately behind him. The first round, as my partner's in that car, puts up his hand like this, and the round goes through his arm, comes out of the car, falls out of the car. The second round goes right through the fucking headrest. And then I'm in the car next to him, so I open fire. That distracts him, and then we get into this run and gun battle up into the apartment complex. And he finally goes down. He's hit like 6 or 8 times. Lives. He's paralyzed, but he lives. He's still in state prison. But I thought it was funny. You know, he got shot literally like 6 or 8 times. We'll have a cop standing at a door doing a search warrant. The guy will fire through the door. It'll hit the cop in the side where the vest isn't. It'll hit the cop's liver, lungs, heart. You know, the cop will be dead in 10 seconds. This fucking guy gets shot 6 times, and he's still alive, still living today. But we took him down, and then right after that, actually right after that shooting, I got transferred, and I went to the DEA task force.
You got a medal for that, correct?
Yeah, I got the Medal of Valor for that one.